I've had the microphone backwards for 2 fucking weeks. Now it's on the right side.
Now it's on the right. We were experimenting, you got to be open-minded to trying all things. And now we know that the microphone backward is not maybe the best choice. It's all right.
I've been listening to the show and going, I'm sounding like shit. Am I too close, too far? Because I don't want to be too on it because it will overmodulate. And then if I'm back here, it's like, my God, are you even in the room? Because I'm all about audio for home shopping, for this thing. I had the microphone backwards.
I don't think we've ever bragged that we are super techie people.
I go kicking and screaming into the tech world.
So
I want to do it.
I'm Melinda McKinsey.
I'm Tom Wise. Don't call me for tech.
Then we're going to unpack some shit with you today. Today is a Wednesday. When we were out in the world, that was traditionally called Hump Day. Now it feels like whatever. I don't know. Wednesday
nobody's humping anymore.
Another day, no one's humping. So on this Wednesday, what would you like to share today, Tom?
I've got George, kitchen, pond, trivia, mask.
You have 4 topics? What?
That's 5. George, kitchen, pond, trivia, mask.
Well, I'm not good with numbers.
Oh, did I just get out of the pool again? My hair's wet. Sorry, everybody.
Look who's being super healthy. I mean,
it's fucking cold. So anyway, I'm getting this from Adam Carolla, who jumps in his pool every day. And he made the announcement. He goes, you're shivering the first few times. You're shivering. There's no doubt about it. But he says number 10 or 11, he goes, I stopped shivering and you're just kind of in the water and it's cold and your body starts acclimating. I'm getting to that point. This is probably number 10 for me, 11 for me, where I'm in the pool. It's cold. It's 62 degrees outside and 60. I'm guessing it's 60 in the pool. It's like, I don't want to really be in there a long time, but I'm like, oh, I'm not shaking. It's crazy.
What is the criteria? How long do you have to stay in that water?
You remember our boy Jay Adams when he came on the show?
Yeah.
He goes into an immersive bath and he takes a 10 pounds of ice.
That's
he stays in until the ice is all melted.
Yeah, well, he'll live to be 1,000. Good for him. Good for him.
He's amazing. That guy's amazing. He's very disciplined.
He's very disciplined. That's really something you and I are not. So the fact that you're doing it is it's actually more amazing than what he's doing because you're not disciplined and you're doing it.
It's as you get older, it's like change is so hard. You're so used to doing something. So this whole move from the ranch, I'm using this as an opportunity to try to get some different, positive routines in.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I gotcha. I'm trying to. I am loving the treadmill. I need to stop weighing myself every day because I'm weighing myself every day, which is really bad because then, I get, I'm not losing anymore right now. And it's been at least almost a week now.
Well, weight is so tied into food intake.
Yes, it is. And
it's almost impossible to treadmill weight off.
Yes. But the treadmill has made me better. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I'm working on that, but I love it. And it gives me something to be excited about, but I am going to try to do what you do and do it early in the morning because I've been doing it afternoon because I work in the mornings. I'm not a morning person, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to have to make myself get up, just get up and do it.
Yeah. Whatever works for you, better. I don't want to make it, a negative thing.
No, it's not a negative thing. It's just like we said earlier, diet and exercise, man. It's not that complicated. It really is just a very simple thing, but I've fought it my whole life and I've never really struggled with my weight. And that's been my problem because I've never really struggled. I would get pregnant and lose the weight. I just was very lucky that I had that kind of a smaller frame that it would come off. But since the pandemic and my age, not being active. And I think being in that, a little bit of a depression about being inside, I think that's affected my body in a much bigger way. And so I've had to work a little bit harder to fight, look, once you get going, you're going to, you'll feel better. It's that first step of come on, man, you can do it.
Isn't it the truth though? Getting started is always the hard part. And then, because every exercise routine I've ever started, I've stopped. It's like every woman I've ever dated. It hasn't worked out.
Well, we talked about we've all bought the exercise equipment. We've all bought this stuff. It doesn't matter what you buy. It matters what's in your head. If you don't need to buy anything, if in your head you're determined to do something.
Did I tell you I'm working on a little bit about goodwill?
What is that?
They should have a little area of unfulfilled dreams where you've got your, exercise equipment, how to bottle your own beer.
Oh,
It's you could knit a sweater, all these things that you plan on doing, but nobody ever does.
isn't that what Craigslist is for?
I don't know. I said Goodwill's it's just gonna have a section, so you can just go there.
That's funny.
Unrequited.
You have 5 topics. I have a few. Your day. I want to talk about your day. Unsolved mysteries. I looked up
Let's do that.
Mysteries that have never been solved. I just find that stuff fascinating. And then I want to talk a little bit about what's happening in the news. And then starting with 1971, foods that became popular during those years. Foods that took off and became popular.
Really?
I'm going to ask you what you think they are. So you have a lot of topics. Choose one that you think.
Let me just talk about kitchen. I come downstairs today, right?
Yeah.
Patrick's got this amazing array of vegetables. He's chopping and he's blending. He's got 2 skillets going.
Of course.
I'm going, is it Thanksgiving already? Because there's no way anybody ever cooks like that without it being an event.
Is he doing Easter?
Who knows? It's just called Wednesday for him.
Yeah.
I said, you should be taking pictures of all this stuff. If you ever want to have sex again, this is very sexy for a woman.
It actually really is.
He's chopping. Yeah. I mean, orange and red and onions, and it's all piled up together, all chopped up.
Do you think this has been a part of the pandemic, or is that something he would have done anyway?
He's doing it anyway. This is him. He's committed to the vegetarian vegan lifestyle.
Yeah. Good for him.
He won't even let me kill the weeds.
What do you mean? Oh, with like poisons and yeah, I get that though.
He goes, we're not doing that.
I read, one of my friends had shared that a lot of the manatees there in Florida have been, dying and getting very sick from all of the chemicals in people's lawns, which of course, do we care more about how green your grass is, or especially in Florida? It's a very harsh thing for, what's the grass called in Florida that's all spiky? And
it's Bermuda or St. Augustine.
Okay. So what's the point of putting all the chemicals in that if it's eventually going to, go into the water? There's got to be a way that you can just let your grass be what it is, right?
Ever since Billy Mays died, no one ever can find out what the better way is.
See,
there's got to be a better way. Hi, I'm Billy Mays for St. Augustine Grass.
I mean, Billy would have solved it too. Oh, that's true. So you had 5 topics. What's the funniest one?
Funny one, huh? I don't think I got a lot of laughs on this one. I've got one where I look bad.
Okay, let's do that. That sounds fun.
Everybody might enjoy that. So did I tell you I'm doing this trivia game thing?
Oh yes, you started at the nudist colony, right?
No, but about 5 minutes north of the nudist colony.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Hopefully I work my way back.
Sorry. Okay.
So I go to the game like 2 weeks ago. I just saw this on Facebook. It's like, this whole job thing. I applied for something a year ago. And anyway, I've been in this loop. So I get this job thing from Facebook that pops up every now and again, kitchen work, musicians needed, labor for I'm just scrolling and scamming. I'm like, oh, great. People are hiring. The economy is working. Yeah. It looks like, we're going forward. And there was this trivia host. I go, that sounds like fun, between open mics, whatever, 1,000 reasons I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
So I applied and I went to the game last week, and they told me, and the game's fun. It looked easy. I had a ball. I talked to the guy he goes, well, you're going to have to go like 8 or 9 times before we're going to sign off. And I'm thinking to myself, 8 or 9 times. That's for someone that's maybe challenged.
No, 8 or 9 times is unacceptable. I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. And I'm thinking 1 or 2, but I was like, so then yesterday I went to actually help and sit behind the table and watch the game. And I was going to engage.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So now it's Excel spreadsheets, pop-up windows with questions. music, and I'm watching, and then, slips of paper, and I'm watching the woman work. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh yeah, there's a lot going on here. She's engaging with people. She's
Okay.
taking their answers. She's
Yeah.
asking the questions. She's getting the music going. She's inputting
Okay.
on her Excel spreadsheet. I go, oh yeah, there's a lot going on. Then you got to watch the clock and watch the 30 seconds to go. Here we go. And then reread the
Oh,
question. You're back. Oh, yeah, it's easy when you're sitting in the table, just, bullshitting with
yeah.
your buddies. I'm going, yeah, this may take me a couple of times to get a
Yeah.
flow
8 or 9
going.
times. It'll
Hopefully
take
not,
you 8
hopefully not 8 or 9. But she said, do you want to get on the microphone and, ask the questions, or would you like,
Yes.
or would you want to help input? I said, let me earn my pay. Let me input some stuff,
Okay.
so I was being her secretary, inputting. I'm going, oh yeah. I never balanced once as a teller. I worked as a bank teller for a year and a half.
I remember this.
I never balanced once. So here I am with a bunch of old people who are all, they're checking their own
Yeah.
scores. And if I put the
Right.
wrong score, I
Oh,
know I'm going to make a mistake.
well, and who would know? Who's going to know if
Oh,
you
they'll
make?
know because they'll tell me,
Oh, okay.
hey,
Well, is this a paid thing? Like, okay.
it's like $75, and I think you get to eat or drink for free.
No,
That's what
that
you,
sounds fun though. I love it.
3 hours, you're in or you're out.
Yeah. No, I love that. I
You get
think
out
it's
of the
great.
house, you go meet some people, yada, yada,
Yeah.
yada. I can work on my material once I
Yeah.
figure this shit out.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, I'll be very
it's not
excited to
a
hear.
it's not a get rich quick scheme.
Well, but you never know. That's the potential of life, Tom. You never the things you least think are gonna become the shining things. Sometimes they do, right? When
Yeah.
you don't feel any.
Well, yeah, this is our.
No,
No, it's not going to.
you don't think you could tour with this? You could go on the road, live in a van.
No, but I like exercising my brain. It's much
Sure.
like doing stand-up comedy where you got to write something down, you got to memorize it, you got to perform it. So
Yeah.
just whether you're good or you're bad at it, it's a great brain exercise. So
Yeah.
I'm saying this is a nice little interesting brain exercise too, where you're
Yeah.
engaging, you're using two sides of your brain, you're analytical, you're putting
Right.
things in, you're reading, so you're juggling, you're spinning
Yeah.
plates. Reminds me with the twins, spinning a lot of plates.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that too. I like that too. Christy's been sending me a lot of links that have been so helpful, just kind of about like Native Indians and their philosophy on life, and Aborigines in New Zealand, their philosophy. And it's just so interesting to me how, as a young white girl, I believed everything that was taught to me in my white world. I mean, I think I was fortunate because being raised the way I was raised in a military family, I was around a lot of other types of people, but I still was raised in a white household. Do you know what I mean? And they were raised in a white household. And so there's a lot of things that assumed I assumed everybody had fair shakes at life, quite honestly. Like I didn't know. So Chrissy's been sending me a lot of things where I'm like, oh, I've felt so invigorated lately listening. And speaking about being invigorated, I think you have a Bulldog story for us.
All right. So going back last week, right? Last week, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Who was our guest again?
Michelle Torrey.
I barely remember your name, and
Michelle,
sometimes not my name.
that's right.
So Michelle Torrey was on, and she's a psychic, kind of an empath. She didn't see anybody around Melinda, but she said she saw a bulldog around me. And I'm like, well, I don't own a bulldog. I don't know anybody from Georgia, as she's proposed. I said, perhaps it's an attitude rather than an actual, it's more, symbolic rather than a actual thing.
Yeah.
She said it could be. She could just be keep your awareness open. Keep your third eye open. So it's March Madness, basketball pool. I mean, everybody's got a bracket in except for who. And so I'm looking over my sheet, and I was just I was just looking over the sheet, and I noticed Gonzaga, who I picked to win the tournament, their mascot is Bulldog. So
I mean, I love that. I purposely stayed away. And at first I was going to just start sending you bulldogs. I was like, no, I really want this to happen naturally and see what, see what happens. My sister said that she was going to send you something and she's like, no, I want to wait and see because it's just magical when things occur like that, because now I'm thinking they're going to win. And now I want to bet on them because if you saw them, I think it's a good thing.
Well, let me also say this. Gonzaga was the favorite going into the tournament. So it wasn't like I pulled them, but I didn't have any idea that their mascot was Bulldog.
Yeah, which is so cool. I do love that.
Yeah, so it's fun. So I don't know if we're stretching the reality to fit the prediction, or maybe there's another Bulldog in my future.
Yeah. You know what? I came across something today. I want to ask you this question. Tell me what could happen to you during the day that would instantly make your day better?
Oh, I think, oh my God.
Really? Patrick's going to just show off like that? Really, Patrick?
I'm in here for a little love, Patrick.
We're not live, are we?
No, we're not live.
It's as live as we ever get.
Look at Patrick. Are you keeping the beard throughout this spring and summer, or is it a
I'm
seasonal
thinking
beard?
Easter might be the day it goes.
Okay. All
I
right.
got Lent going on. No
Okay.
booze, no coffee. So no beard.
Why does he hate himself so much?
I don't know. You've got to love yourself more, Patrick. Drink the beer, drink the coffee.
Look at this. What's in here?
It looks like some egg. I see peppers. I don't know the names of those things, but I'm sure they're all very healthy. What is it, Patrick?
Oh, I don't know if we have enough time.
That's a spice joke.
Oh, you kitchen people kill me.
That's funny. Okay, it's tofu. It's not egg at all.
Tofu.
So it's tofu with a.
Oh, I forgot. You're that kind of a vegetarian. Sorry.
The good kind.
All in. So tofu with nutritional yeast that plays a big part. Gives it a lot.
Yes,
of
nutritional yeast.
Yes. So
Do not mock the vegetarian.
a lot of peppers. The peppers that Tommy grew, actually, I chopped up those two that you put on the thing. They're in there. You're
Beautiful.
eating those
My own
right now.
peppers.
One that was half rotten, I put that in there also.
Good. I hope it's on your side.
So we'll be up late tonight. So
Fermentation's good, right?
it can be.
Yeah.
It can be. Thank you for asking. By the way, when did you escape prison?
Who are you talking
I'm
to?
talking to you in your orange jumpsuit.
Oh, orange is the new black.
Is there a number on the back?
This is tangerine, sir. This is tangerine. It's the color for spring.
That was me, because the way you were making fun of Patrick. It is.
I know that you'll defend
Very
Patrick
protective.
if I go
Very
after
protective.
him.
I'm feeding him, so he has to.
I'm the bulldog.
There's avocado in there also. My avocado roll is getting cold, so.
Oh, yes.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you, Patrick. You guys have an avocado tree too?
I wish. Wouldn't that be lovely? I tried to grow an avocado tree at the ranch years ago.
Yeah.
I had one avocado. I mean, you know how long it takes for an avocado tree to give fruit?
No.
7
No.
years.
Good Lord. Can you just go to a nursery that already has a
That's what you do, and that's what I did. I bought a mature tree that was how many? The guy, he couldn't tell me exactly. Anyway, I grew an avocado on that tree,
okay.
and then the donkey promptly pushed the tree down as he was scratching his back.
Yes.
Wasn't that delightful?
You don't have donkeys now, so
I've
maybe.
got nothing.
How expensive was it? That's the problem with buying tree.
That tree, $150.
Okay. All right. A funny avocado story. Oprah Winfrey was on Trevor Noah, and Trevor said, listen, it was the after show. He said, you're so rich. Do you have any normal stuff that happens to you? I want to know what kind of normal stuff, like tell me anything normal about you because you're so rich. And so he was asking her questions about her toilet paper. Apparently she has in her house, which
Just cotton.
in her house, when she uses the bathroom, someone goes in and folds
Wipes for her.
the tissue on so it has a little it's that she lives that life. So then she said, wait, I know something normal. When I travel, I love avocados. I bring my own avocados because I think they're too expensive to buy. And Trevor goes, really? You're so rich. The one thing you don't want to spend money on is avocados. And she's like, well, I have an avocado orchard. And so from the orchard, and he goes, quit talking. You're not normal. That is not normal that you bring avocados from your orchard. Oprah, you're not a normal person. Like, do you think she's so rich she doesn't know what normal is? Because she knew what normal was.
Yeah, I mean, she grew up in the city.
She grew up so poor.
My
Like,
avocado orchard.
I had my own orchard.
Oh, you should see. I replanted my tomato because I'm selling tomato towers on Home Shopping.
Oh, yes, yes.
So I bought tomato plants at Costco. It's great, big mature plants for $14.
Okay, that sounds good.
So I take them out of their container, and it's a perfect fit to my other container. Well, I go from round
Okay.
to square, but that was a nice little project yesterday, and there's a tomato growing on one already.
Oh, is it easy? I don't know. My mom used to grow tomatoes and can them. I don't know how hard it is, but how did your shows go? Good?
The shows have gone. I did one vegetable thing. I love it. It's like this kind of a vegetable garden
Okay. Yeah,
bucket thing with a trellis. And
yeah.
it went well. I mean, this thing has a deep enough bucket to grow root vegetables.
Okay.
That's
Nice.
the easiest thing in the world, like sweet potatoes, radishes.
Very nice. I'm
was
excited
fun.
for you.
Yeah.
Just real briefly, because this is current day topics, I just briefly want to touch on, are you going to show us some pictures of the tomatoes? And for you on iTunes, I will just tell you they look splendid and healthy, and they're very full, everyone, those tomato plants. I do want to talk real quickly about what's in the news. We had the Atlanta shootings, we had the Colorado shootings. As far as assault rifles go, I'm going to come up and say I am not schooled on guns and rifles and how all that works, but just from person to person, my stance is, why do we need assault rifle? I don't understand why we need assault rifles. Is that, I don't understand. Like, is there a reason we would need them? Am I too limited in my knowledge to not really understand the reason why people can go out and buy assault? Why would a regular person need an assault rifle?
You don't.
Right? I mean, so I was reading New Zealand, Britain, some other places where they had an instance where someone shot many people. Like, I pulled up some things like in Canada, and here's the latest one in Canada in 2020, someone dressed up as a Royal Canadian Mountain Police officer. I don't know if you remember this. He killed 22 people with an assault rifle. So 2 weeks later, Trudeau announced a ban of military style assault weapons within 2 weeks. So you can do it, but I don't know why we haven't. I don't know the politics involved, other than the NRA has always been very powerful.
It's gross. I was watching Fox the other day, and they're
Yeah.
just justifying. It's like we got way too many guns. And
What's
yes,
the
people
justification?
kill guns. People kill people with handguns, but it says
Not the same.
assault rifles. Well, you just get this mowing down. Now they're not automatic. They're probably not automatic, but they can become automatic. See, the difference is an assault rifle, you can have a single, pull the trigger once, shoot a single round. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not any different than a handgun. Pull the trigger
Right.
once, shoot it. What they're looking for, what's devastating are those automatic weapons,
Yeah.
which are not legal to own.
Okay.
You can't own an automatic weapon. But you
Okay.
can, there's modification kits that you can buy to put on your AR-15 to make them semi-automatic, where you hold the
Okay.
trigger down, boom, 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 boom. It's all
Okay.
nonsense. You don't need that.
Yeah.
Nobody ever defends their home with an assault rifle where they kill somebody or they
Right. Yeah.
you know?
And I read someone had posted in Georgia, the guy that shot all those people bought the gun that day. And they said, you can't register to vote. You can't get a driver's license. There's a lot of things you can't do in one day, but you can get a gun. That needs to be changed.
Yeah,
Right.
it's horrible. This is the Congress to do it, though. I mean, we've got the Senate, we've got the House, and we've got the president. So let's get some shit done.
Yeah, I know that he put something out there. So let's hope that it happens, but I couldn't let it go without speaking to it because it's
horrible.
really important, right? It's something that's happening in the United States.
It's so sad that that we're not even trying. So I mean, you know, are you willing, if you're a hunter, are you willing to, is this a price you're willing to pay
Right.
for your gun, that you're going to have people getting slaughtered every now and again? Is that, I mean, that's that. Now, needless to say, they can put a ban in the AR-15s. That doesn't mean it's going to stop, but at
Of
least
course.
we're trying something.
Of course, we got to try. I mean,
And I get where the NRA is like, we're not giving an inch, because the second you take away these, you're going to want to take away these, then you're going to want to take away these, and you're going to want to take away these. And that's how the government works. We're going to give you we're going to tax you an extra penny for this trail we're building. And then in 3 years, we're going to take the tax off. Oh, in 3 years, we're going to get that penny. We need that penny regularly, and we need another penny too, because it's just a penny.
Yeah.
So that's how the government works. They never give you it back. It's always just one way. So I get that mentality. We're not giving an inch.
Right.
But really, you can't have these damn things.
No, it's unfortunate. Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up just because it is happening. And,
Thanks for bringing everyone down. They come here for escapism, for me to, oh, what kind of jumpsuit? What kind of jumpsuit is Melinda wearing today? Was she on a road crew and she escaped?
I stand by the fact that this is Tangerine. Anyway, it probably
Martha Stewart. That was Martha Stewart's jumpsuit. Did you buy that at an auction?
Yes, I'm doing this in honor of Martha Stewart. Save Martha. Okay, so I want to ask you, you're a good guesser on things. And I want to ask you, I started down this rabbit hole of different eras, foods that really took off, right? Foods that just like, that was the year for that food. Do you want to guess what was the year that McDonald's introduced the Quarter Pounder?
Wow.
Do you remember? And I do like the Quarter Pounder. Have you had the McDonald's Quarter Pounder? I do enjoy it, even though I know it's probably not good for you. It probably has 10,000 calories. I haven't had one in, I couldn't tell you, years, but still.
Good question.
Yes.
The Quarter Pounder definitely introduced in my lifetime.
Yes. Do you remember it at all? Thinking, oh, a Quarter Pounder.
Did you give me too big of a hint with your title of 1971?
Well, that's when everything started. Actually it started in 1970, but 71 was like the big title of the thing, like foods that changed the way we ate in 1971. So that's one of the years.
So the answer isn't 1971.
Well, you have to guess and then I tell you the answer. See how this game works?
But it seems like a 70s type of an item. And I would say the Quarter Pounder, I'm going to say 1973.
Okay, that's a very, very good guess. For 1973, the food that really took off was fondue. Do you remember fondue?
Absolutely.
What's the name of that little restaurant that all they do is serve fondue?
Something pot. Yes. The melting pot?
Yes, the melting pot.
Very expensive.
Yes. So it's very expensive. I went one time and I thought, well, this is ludicrous because
I went there with the kids once. I
you go pay for everything separate.
It was like $140 for just a couple of kids. It's 1999.
Yes. Wow. So yes, the year that the Quarter Pounder came out was 1971, Tom. Yes, it was 1971. Where were you at in 1971? What was happening in your life?
1971, I was in grammar school. I was 13 years old, so I was probably in 7th or 8th grade.
So you probably would your family do McDonald's or?
Yeah, very rarely. Certainly less than once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. But our big treat was pizza on Friday nights. There's 8 of us, plus mom and dad.
Yeah.
And then we'd have an 8-pack of Pepsi. Everyone would get a bottle, but you can see that math's not going to work. So Patrick doesn't get anything because he's 2.
Okay.
Jimmy and I are 5 and 7.
Yeah.
So there's 6. Anyway, long story short is Jimmy and I would split a bottle. And
yeah.
Have you ever split anything with anybody?
I don't like to.
This is a sad thing. This is a sad thing I'm going to say next.
Okay. Okay.
I can't say that my father ever, I mean, he was a nice man, smart man, hardworking man,
Yes.
enjoyed a joke, very
Yes.
light drinker, a lot of positive things. But I can't ever say that I've had that man-to-man talk with him about a lot about life and stuff like that. He was
Yeah.
kind of very closed. A couple of times I try to engage him on politics or something. Oh, that's
Yeah.
private. I don't talk
Yeah.
politics. I go, I'm your son. I'm your
Yeah.
son. Shouldn't I be getting some guidance or something?
But wasn't that the era though?
It's
I
more
felt,
the era. He's right from the Mad Men. I was see him, don't hear him. All right.
yeah, it's interesting how
But
how
let me just tell you the one thing that he said to me and Jimmy at the same time.
Yes.
He goes, all right, you're splitting Pepsi? Yeah. One guy pours, the other guy chooses. I'm like,
That's
brilliant.
genius.
That is absolutely
That is
brilliant.
genius. Who cares if he didn't tell you anything else? You could use that the rest of your life. Oh,
And
I
I'm like,
love that.
I ran that in my head and go, that works. That's an idea that works.
That is really good. I'm
And-
going to remember
And
that.
Jimmy and I were there with an eyedropper and a funnel.
Yes.
We're like the meniscus, the whole 9 yards.
I
And then-
love it.
And you walk away because now one guy pours, the other guy chooses.
Wow.
I guess you could say
love
pours
it.
and picks would be nice because it would be alliteration.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm a middle child, and that's part of the reason I don't like to share now is because my whole life was hand-me-downs, sharing of everything, always shared a bedroom, always had to wear other people's clothes. So I do have middle kid-itis where I want my own shit because I shared almost all my life. And my sisters used to make fun of me. So I have one older and two younger. Growing up in a household, my dad was from the military, worked in the military, so we didn't have a lot of money. So when my mom would buy certain things, like my mom would buy ding dongs. Do you remember ding dongs? Oh, that was a specialty item, and we couldn't just get snacks willy-nilly. We had to have permission. We couldn't just go in the snack drawer and get a ding dong. You had to wait, right? So here's what I would do as a middle child. There were times I would want a snack, and by the time I wanted it, the snack was gone. So I had to come up with a plan. How do I fix this? So when it was snack time, I would get my snack, I would get the other snack, and I would hide it. So when I felt like having a snack, I hid it in the closet in the dining room. So whenever I wanted a snack, I got found out, of course. I'm not as clever as I think I am. And then my family mocked me. They will till the end of time. I got mocked forever, which is very healthy, about my propensity to hide food. And it's not like I had a weight problem. I maybe weighed 100 pounds in school. It was a mental, psychological problem of like, I want a ding dong when I want a damn ding dong, not when you heathens eat them all. And so I would hide the ding dongs and hide the
Well,
Pop
weren't they issued like, okay, this is a 12-pack of ding dongs. There's 4 kids. Do not take any more than 2 ding dongs for everybody.
Well, it wasn't said that way. It was more said like, get a snack. Go get a snack.
Really?
We
We were issued cookies at the end of dinner.
Oh.
You had a box of vanilla wafers. You may have 3.
But you had a lot of kids.
Oh yeah, of course. Royal Grahams were huge. You remember Royal Grahams?
Yes.
That was one. And then the old thing was if you take one and it was sticking to another, you try to declare that just is one.
Oh, it's just one. My mom always made dessert. I will say that with dinner, we always had a meat, a starch like a potato, a vegetable, and a dessert. And it could be Jello with Cool Whip or
Of
something.
course. No, those are great memories. Mom always made dessert too. Mom always made dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was nice. And speaking of McDonald's, I do recommend if you haven't watched the movie version of Ray Kroc and how he became, Mr. McDonald's with Michael Keaton.
I've seen it.
Oh, so good, right?
You know what can I jump back a
Yeah.
second? I would love, because I know that my mom and my dad had a budget in mind
Yes,
for
of
everything. I mean,
course,
Dad
yeah.
never made any money at all. He never
Right.
made $18,000 a year in his life. He died in 78.
Yeah.
Still was not any money, but
Right.
he
No.
raised 8 kids, Catholic schools, which he had to pay,
Yeah.
owned the house and had money in the bank.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
But I remember him once. The thing was that I didn't hear it directly, but I remember my mom was telling me a story one time about that, and says because she would buy and serve him steak, and we would have hamburgers. We'd have no idea. We were thrilled, and he
Yeah.
said, "Hey, I just if the kids can't have steak, no one's having steak.
Oh, oh, wow.
Don't just get me a steak."
Wow.
So it was interesting. I mean, I would have loved to hear their conversations about, how they divvied
Yeah.
up their chores and their attitude about money.
Yeah. See, you need to go visit Michelle.
Yeah. That's why I want to talk to Dad. Hello.
Talk to your dad. It's interesting to see too, because like when you do talk to Michelle, she just tells you stuff, and then you're like, wow, that I didn't even know I wanted to know that. Kind of a scenario. She told me some things because I have a biological dad and a dad that raised me, and they're very different men. And she told me something from each one that I was like, holy cow, yeah, that because one dad was kind of wild and would say anything, and that he was the biological dad, of course.
I don't know that.
And then the dad that raised me was very conservative, didn't like to talk a lot, was very kind of stoic. He was a military guy, and he always, worked super hard, and he just didn't have time for all the goofing around. So, all right. So that was a pretty good guess. I know I sidetracked you with the 1971.
Sidetracked me. You gave me the answer.
Do you know what year Starbucks started? Do you remember Starbucks happening?
Ooh. So when they went national or when they started in Seattle, because it's probably two different
According to
answers.
this article, it's when they started, not national, just they started their little shop.
Okay, you've given me the kind of a clue that's in the 70s, and I would imagine it's yeah. I'd say they thought they were nuts when he started it. I've heard him interviewed, and people thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
I'd say, and he was in college, so it's going to be in the 70s as well. How about 75?
71, 1971. It was a
Are
big
all
year
these
for
are all
us.
these answers 71?
Just those two. Just those two. I thought it was fascinating that Starbucks and McDonald's had the big, because they're both big deals, and they're both here today, right? After
Right.
all this time, they're very popular.
I think McDonald's started in 1954. Oddly enough, there was a trivia question yesterday. The trivia
Oh,
question was, how many franchises did McDonald's have in 1954?
oh,
International, and the answer was one.
really? They started in 54. Wow. And they're banging it out, right? I mean, McDonald's stock, everybody buy. Do you know what year? This is a funny story. I want to tell you the story about ranch dressing. But do you know the year that it really exploded? That people were like, what is this ranch dressing that you speak of?
That had to be in the 60s.
That's what I thought. I'm going to tell you no to that, because that's what I thought. It's more current.
Really?
You want to believe.
Well, I remember I never ate salad. And I went to a girl's coming out party when she was 16.
Yes.
And I was way over I don't know what the hell's going on. It's like like a bar mitzvah, I guess, or,
Okay.
it was coming out party.
Sure.
What does that mean? So all these girls were dressed up and whatever.
Yeah.
So I was sitting with her mom at one of those round tables during the event,
Yeah.
and they passed out salad. I never ate salad.
Right. Of course.
And so I'm eating it dry because I don't, I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't want to be rude. I'm going to eat what's presented, right?
Yes.
And the mom leans over and says, "Did you want any dressing on that?" I go, "Oh no, I'm fine. I always eat it like this."
No. Are you serious? You didn't even take the dressing when it was offered?
I didn't even know. Had no interest in dressing, had no interest in salad, but I didn't want to be a bad guest. So I was guessing that ranch dressing was probably available at that point, which was 1975.
Okay, here's the story. So you tell me what you think about this. They're quoting the date as 1980
What?
when it became Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. But here's the beginnings. A plumbing contractor working in the Alaskan bush created the salad dressing. He made it with buttermilk, mayonnaise, garlic, onion, and herbs like dill and chives. That man, Steve Henson, later served the dressing at his Santa Barbara Dude Ranch. Hidden Valley Ranch was selling its packets for customers to take home. So Henson and his wife later created Hidden Valley Ranch food products, and the rest is history. It quickly became the preferred way to infuse otherwise healthy dishes with a palatable amount of fat. And it was everywhere in the 80s. By 1992, it became the best-selling salad dressing in America. Now, when he was in the Alaskan bush, when he created this, it was in the 50s.
Wow.
And in 1980 is when it became official.
Huh. So up to this point, we're just using oil and vinegar.
I guess we're using the healthy stuff, not
Right.
knowing that you could really make salads good. Putting the good stuff in the salads.
We're going to take a 58 calorie salad and turn it into a 600 calorie disaster.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
on it.
I know. I love it. Have you ever had the drink? I thought this was fascinating. Tequila Sunrise.
Sure. I
Okay.
mean, maybe one or two. You've got to if it was ever offered, just
Yeah,
because of the song, right?
Well, this is what the history is. Do you want to guess what year it kind of became like the drink to have? Tequila Sunrise?
That was 1975.
Thank you for your guess, sir. That was 1972. 1972, but there's a great story. Check this story out. Mick Jagger first had the Tequila Sunrise, that was a cocktail made with orange juice, tequila, and grenadine, while partying at a San Francisco bar called the Trident in 1972. The Rolling Stones drank enough of the stuff that Keith Richards later revealed that the tour became known as the Cocaine and Tequila Sunrise Tour. The drink got so popular that the next year, the Eagles released a song called Tequila Sunrise. Don't you love that? I
It's
love stuff
great.
like that.
That's
I think
wonderful.
it's just fascinating that, the history of how things become,
You think that somebody like my kids got plopped on the planet with, cell phones, the internet, that's how it was when I arrived. I guess it's always been like this.
Yeah.
I
it's
got
been-
plopped on the planet with, no party line, making a phone call, color, TV
Right.
set. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't always like that.
Yeah, no, I was raised in the era. It's funny because I've told my daughter when I grew up in high school, we didn't even have call waiting. We just had the phone in the kitchen with the long cord. So if you want
No,
privacy,
no answering machine.
no answering machine. And so my daughter said, but how did you get phone calls? And I said, you waited by the phone is what you did. Or choice number 2, you go out in the world and you see your friends. That's kind of how it worked.
Wow.
We didn't spend a lot of time on the
sassy
phone.
answer.
I'm a sassy mom. Did you spend a lot of time waiting by the phone growing up? The phone wasn't a big
No.
part of my life.
No, the phone was the occasional call, an awkward call to a girl.
Yeah. I mean, the parents use the phone. If someone was calling you, you're kind of like, what's going on? It wasn't a thing.
No, our thing was to walk over to the neighbor's house. Did you ever see knock on a guy's door and call yo somebody?
No.
That was our thing in Chicago. You knock on the door, yo Matt, yo Matt,
Oh no.
yo Jimmy.
You think is that exclusively Chicago? You think?
I have no idea. I just
Never heard of it.
like the black and white TV and the telephone. I thought everybody did it that way.
I don't remember when we got a color TV. I mean, we did have a black and white for a while. Do you remember when you guys got a color television?
It was late. I remember the TV stack, right? The first TV's not working, so you stack a second TV on top of the first one. I mean, that's so common.
Yeah, we didn't spend a lot of time with TV. It's not like we could sit in front of the TV.
Oh, your family was much better than mine. You're in Hawaii, living
Well,
high life.
it was more of a scheduled event. Like we couldn't watch TV while we ate. We had to always, I'm assuming you guys too, always sat at the dining room table, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the kitchen table.
Well, but you know what I mean?
Right.
We were in the kitchen as well. It wasn't something that was even considered. That what? In the living room?
Yeah.
With the
And
television?
then we'd watch Dick Van Dyke
Oh, Dick
and,
Van Dyke.
Andy Griffith's show, and then the evening news with Channel 7.
My parents were fans of the Lawrence Welk show.
My
and
parents were
Hee
not.
Haw. My parents liked Hee Haw and Laughing. We saw a lot of Laughing, which at sometimes my parents made me leave the room because it got
I was
too
going to
involved.
say, yeah, Lawrence Welk and Laughlin, there are two different sides of that political
Two very
spectrum.
different. I think my parents were racy and didn't want us to know it, is what I think. They were trying to act all classy with Lawrence Welk, give the girls some nice music, but no.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah. So you still have a ton of topics. What else have you got?
Oh, well, we got to watch the clock. Oh, can I say something about every now and again, something happens and it's like, oh my God, that's amazing where
Yeah.
it works out. So Patrick has a nice little piece of property here, right? He's got a wall. It's big. He's got a nice spot. He's got a big pool, nice little area in the back. But
Okay.
beyond his space, so this whole area was probably built in the 70s,
Okay.
70s, 80s, something like that. Maybe
Okay.
even longer than that. Oak trees, old oak trees. It's a nice
Nice.
area. But behind him was a farmer's field, which was, oh, look at that. Farmer's field. It's like, so I've got my property and then a farmer's field.
Yeah.
Visually, it's going to be nice to look at for years to come.
Yeah.
Well, the farmer sells it to a developer.
Uh-oh.
It's like, oh, here we go. And they're ripping down trees. They're bulldozing the whole thing. They're building 65 houses over there, 63, whatever it's going to be. It's like, oh, well, it's been a good run
Yeah.
where you're looking out at the farmer's field.
Right.
Well, the trucks are out, they're digging. They're digging because been kind of a buzz that they're going to be putting a retention pond in somewhere because it's usually they
Oh,
move the
yeah.
dirt over here, elevate here, and then there's a pond. Blah, blah. Long story short,
Yes.
when they're all done with this thing, they're going to have a 1 acre pond right behind Patrick's house, fully groomed, and then all the houses are way over here. It's going to be this huge pond,
Nice.
a kind of like a retention, not a swamp area, but like a mangrove where they're going to keep
Yeah.
it natural. And then 60 houses over. So Patrick, when they're all done here, he's going to be able to take that wall down, and in his backyard is going to be a 1 acre fully
That's
maintained pond.
Would you worry about the alligators?
We never worry about alligators.
Okay. Just curious.
It's such a rare occurrence. Alligators don't bother anybody but small dogs.
Okay. All right. Well, from the small amount when I lived in Florida, we had got a home on a retention pond, but we had the pool with the screen.
But this is not even retention pond. It's a 1 acre pond. It's going to be the size of a football field.
But
This is going to be
don't you
like
think
having a
the
lake.
gators will come up and sun
They
them?
may, absolutely, they may. Yes, but it's not like just it's going to be a feature. It's not like
Yeah.
little mini pond.
Yeah. Well, in the neighborhood that I was in, what they did, they had the ponds all connected throughout the neighborhood. It was over there in Woodfield, right? So it was nice. So the alligators would swim from pond to pond. Within a couple of weeks, because I had a dachshund out on the lanai, there was a gator sunning himself as they do with their mouths open. I didn't know what it meant. So I called someone and said, hey, do I need to worry? Will it come through the...
They would like a gumdrop.
Uh-huh. They told me it would go away, and it did, but I was always worried. You hear stories where they break through and, whatever. So I'm excited for Patrick and that he's going to have
It's going to be amazing.
beautiful view. So he will knock the wall down then so he can have that
It
openness.
depends how they finish it. If they finish it with a 12-foot fence, then you can't see the pond. Then, no, I'm guessing that it's going to be so far away that they'll probably put bushes or something. So there may be a little bush between you and the pond, but it'll be fine. Should be
That's
fine.
very
So
exciting.
stay tuned to this spot
tuned.
for further notices.
Stay tuned. And Patrick's not planning on selling the house. He's going to be there for a while.
He
right?
loves it here. Why
Okay.
not?
Very good. All right. Well, you know how I like you to wrap the show. You know what I'm going to ask.
You know what? I had a sexy tip.
What is
That's what she said.
What is it? What is it?
Hold on.
Do, 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 do.
It had to do with that flirting video.
Oh,
It was the one about touching.
yes.
Shit.
You forgot how to flirt.
What was the other tip?
Flirt with your eyes? No.
Oh,
Ah,
I'm dead. I'm dead on it. I'll
It's
post
okay.
it if I remember.
All right. So do you have any flirting tips? What's a flirting tip from Tom Wise?
Oh, I got it. I remember what it was.
What?
Make a comment about her eyebrows. Nobody ever comments about her eyebrows.
Really?
Wow, your brows are really looking sharp today. They're very attractive.
That's odd. I think that's odd. I think that would skeeve me out real hard.
Then I lick my finger and then I touch your eyebrows.
Well,
each one of them.
You know what? Eyebrows are a big deal to women because they all get them sculpted and styled and everything.
So what's wrong with not making a comment? You clearly you're spending time on it. You're looking for a reaction, or at least you're looking to enhance your appearance by working in your eyebrows.
It's like I don't know. It's like one of those things you do. Stop doing that. I feel like women do that so it enhances the rest of their features, to point out a little trick that we're doing to enhance the rest of our features. Maybe other women would love it. I don't know. If a guy at my age would mention my eyebrows, I would think, good day, sir. And good day to you. I don't know. Maybe I'm not up on the modern times of flirting, and this is my struggle.
This is why you're single.
I remember
Good day, sir. Don't talk to me. On your way.
I was at a bookstore once when I was living in Florida, and I love bookstores. You know that, Tom. And I'm looking, and this guy comes up to me, starts asking me questions about the books. And I looked at him.
Please,
and I
I'm
was
trying
like,
to read something.
No, I was so mad that he was bothering me. And I told my friend later, and she's like, do you not understand?
And you're reading a book, How to Meet Men.
Thought, I'm at a bookstore. Please don't bother me. This is why I'm not good at dating. I bet the eyebrow thing is magnificent. I bet women love it.
I'm saying it's an interesting, then it shows you're paying attention, you're admiring something that someone has worked on. It's like, if you're in the gym, it's like, oh, wow, are your muscles bigger? Yes, they are. Thanks for noticing.
Yeah. Okay. Tip for the day. I'm going to take it. I'll try it.
I'm going to have a tip for you. Calm down.
I can't calm down. If I say that to a fella, would it work?
Oh, if you say anything about any man's appearance, that's the only thing he'll be doing the rest of his life. That color looks good on you. That's the only color he'll wear the rest of his life. They're easily guided, inverted.
Oh, that's hilarious.
All right.
Hilarious.
That's another one in the can.
Yes, it is. I'm Melinda McKinsey.
I'm Tom Wise. Thanks for joining us. And then see you on Friday.
See you on Friday.
I think Davis might be joining us with some crazy trivia.
Excited about that. I'll study up. I'll see if I can call him and get the answer.
How do you study up on that? All right. Thanks for watching.